Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to jump right into our weekly three-banger where I present my highest conviction plays going into next week. But first we're going to start off with how we did last week. So the first pick that we had was SMCI. That was up 4% on the week, and intra-week we were up about 14.8%, which means if you were to have played it and took your profits intra-week, you would have made a nice 14.8%, which is fantastic. The next one is volatility. I pegged it perfectly. The VIXY, we were up 9% on the week. Intra-week, we were up 10%. So that was an unbelievable play, and we're probably going to have volatility going into this week. However, it is not one of the selections, but I do like volatility. And last up, we have Mara, which was down 10%. Unfortunately, that one just didn't hold as Bitcoin and other miners rolled over. So what do we have going into this week? The first one is Costco. Ticker symbol is COST. And what I like about this particular chart is you can see last week on Thursday and Friday, we sold off both days extremely aggressively with gap ups and then sold off down into the lows, while Costco had two amazing up days, both Thursday and Friday, both down days in the market, and we have increasing volume. RSI is turned over. So I do like this short term to probably break back into this parallel or maybe some consolidation. But either way, I like it for a move up into a new high here. And then if it doesn't work this week, it's definitely going to work, I think, next week. But I still think this is high conviction for this week. So I selected it based on the relative strength it had to the market and the increase in volume here. So be on the lookout for that to go up over the coming days and weeks. And then I do think it does have some bearish structure that if you're interested in learning more about this particular analysis, I did a full recap on it this morning. You can get the full TA in the other video that I'll link actually at the end of this. Okay, next one is Palantir. Ticker symbol is PLTR. Okay, I think this one, obviously earnings are Monday after the bell. However, and I do see this setting up to the downside. It looks like a bearish posture, bearish structure. We're in these two different parallels that I've notated in a previous video. So you have your primary parallel, and then you have your upsloping parallel, and you can see we've been riding the highs of both of them, and you've had some sell-offs over the last couple of days. Kind of had this indecision candle on Friday. How it was saved by basically the 20 MA, but I think this is setting up quite nicely to the downside going into earnings. First stop will be the median line, depending on how bad the earnings are, or potentially how good they are. Just maybe guidance might not be that good. So, like I said, I do see this coming down. First stop being the median line. Second stop being this these pivot top highs and this shelf in this demand zone. And then lastly, if we do have a massive sell-off, 126 would be the take profit number 3. That would be a pretty big sell-off. That would be roughly, let's do the quick math on that, and let's take a quick look. This would be, give me 1 second. I always do this with my, there we go, price range. Let's look. If we were to sell all the way down into that bottom, that'd be a 20% move on the stock. If we get into take profit number 2, that would be a 13% move on the stock. And if we were to get it to here, it'd be about 6.5% move on the stock. So we'll see what earnings holds, but I do like this one to the downside. As you can see, we have some pretty significant bearish divergence on the RSI. You can see multiple highs selling off. We rolled over. We're down to 50. So we'll see how earnings go, but I like this one to the downside. Okay, next one up is GEV, GE VARANOVA. This one has been, wow, this one has just been up, 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 and away. So a couple of things here. The fib-based extension has been realized at the 130 or 138.2, which was 669. We overshot that and we put in a topping tail. You can see that on the chart. So on Thursday, we put in a topping tail. We sold through the support. You can see this trend line support, overhead support. You can see we've touched it 1, 2, kiss, 3, kiss, 4, 5, and then it couldn't break through on the 6th, put in a topping tail, and then we had some continuation to the downside, even though that's a green candle. So this is in an upward wedge, or upward parallel, you could say, pretty much. And I see this with more downside movement. You can see the bearish divergence, triple touch here with it curling over. So I like this one also to the downside. Where can this one go? Let me show you my thoughts. First stop is going to be, in my opinion, this support line here, which would put us at about 599. So let's do that real quick. If we get a move down from here, which would be there, and we get into that kind of level there, that would be about a 9% move down in the stock. That puts us right at the 20 EMA or moving average. So I do like that to be some support where we could potentially bounce. But with this bearish divergence and all of this overhead resistance, I do like this one to the downside. Again, look something like this on the pathing. It would be something like this. We probably do, right? So I like this one to the downside next week. Okay, getting into the two bonus plays. Apple. I can see Apple rolling or coming down a little bit more next week to about 197, 198, kissing and touching the meat or apex of this triangle. So unfortunately, it was building some really, really good bullish structure, and it just did not. It rolled over, didn't break out the way we thought it was going to do. But that just goes to show you it wants to retest this, of apex of this triangle. So I do see this coming back down, and from here I think we get a bounce. Probably continue to either gyrate here or move back up. So I like this one as the bonus banger for the week. And for the second bonus banger, I would go with Enphase. And here's why. So, post earnings, which they had pretty good earnings, guidance just wasn't all that great. But as you can see, from there, we've sold off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. So we're past the 7-day time count. So I could see this one wicking down maybe the beginning of the week, and then putting in a bullish, potentially bottoming tail. Again, that's speculation, but again, I like this time count. I like how low RSI is, and I think this could go higher next week, despite its bearish price action last week. And that's what I have for you this week. So again, to recap, we had a winning week last week with SMCI. VIXY and Mara was down, but we had 2 of the 3 win. And then this week, the primary bangers are going to be Costco to the upside, Palantir to the downside, GE VARANOVA to the downside, Apple to the upside as a bonus, and Enphase as a bonus. There you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please show some love and hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm bringing you real-time opportunities as I identify them in the market, taking advantage of these opportunities so that each and every week we could go into it calculated, disciplined, emotionless, and make a lot of money along the way. But I will remind you, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything I do is just showing you my own personal trading strategies and how I see the coming weeks develop. And I encourage everyone to do their own analysis and due diligence on stocks before you get into them. So again, thank you for your time, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.